This just took a massive turn for the Vancouver Canucks as an NHL Insider reveals the shocking truth on Brock Boeser going into free agency, and this has massive implications on the Canucks for the seasons to come. We have a lot to break down in this episode. You're not going to want to miss that. Before we get into that, if you're enjoying this content and you want to stay up to date on the Vancouver Canucks, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date on everything to do around the team this season, this offseason, and for the seasons to come. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, where we do see Frank Seravalli joining Sportsnet 650 talking about Brock Boeser's price tag in free agency. Now, he does continue on to say, I don't have any doubts, and I'm not saying it's going to be exactly 50 million, whatever it is, 46, 45, 48, or 50, he'll be just fine. I'm not speaking for him because I haven't exactly talked to him, but I say the thought process that would have, if that's the way this team I've been incredibly loyal to is going to talk about me, then I'd rather take 44 from somewhere else than 41 or 2 here. Now, we know Patrik Allvin went into the press conference after the trade deadline speaking about the lack of offers he got from Brock Boeser, and it did have a lot of backlash from fans, and it does seem like Brock himself has been struggling as of late since the Canucks have kept him past the trade deadline. This season, 18 goals, 20 assists for 38 points. Brock Boeser just came off a 40-point season and has been having quite a disappointing year where he might not even register 25 goals after scoring 40. Brock Boeser does have 38 points. It is over half a point per game, but someone going into a contract year, well, they're in their contract year, going into this offseason as a UFA, looking and demanding for quite the price tag, it's going to get very interesting. And with, like Frank Seravalli said during his Sportsnet interview, it does seem like with Patrik Allvin having quotes on him, he may end up walking to a new team. Now, the biggest thing with Brock Boeser, we know how well he worked with J.T. Miller when he played along him on his wing. Now, looking at Brock's stats since the Dallas game where we did see J.T. Miller held out and traded, he has been severely struggling with his Canucks roster. Now, listen, I want to go in. This is not to hate Brock Boeser. I'm just saying he needs a center that works with him. Looking at his stats without J.T. Miller in the last 17 games, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points, a -15. And listen, I'll be the first to say, I don't like looking at plus minus. This is the stat that shows the team and it doesn't reflect on just one player. But being a -15 with only 5 points, not throwing a ton of hits, but still throwing 22, which is still quite a decent few, 16 blocked shots, Brock has been struggling a little bit. 2 power play goals, 1 game-winning goal, 1 even strength assist, and power play assist. This is a big time for Brock Boeser to step up, and we really haven't seen it in the last 17 games, or let alone the last 5 or after the trade deadline. As I said, listen, Brock Boeser was elite last year when he had the perfect center on his line. With J.T. Miller on the line, we've seen Brock Boeser going out scoring a career high of 40 goals, which did ellipse his career high of 29 in his second season, or pretty much his rookie season, with the Canucks in 62 games. Brock Boeser has been elite in the playoffs, his first playoff run with the Canucks, 11 points in 17 games. Following up last year before going down with an injury, 12 points in 12 games, including 7 goals. But Brock is very determined to have a guy on his center position that can help him, and the Vancouver Canucks truly just don't have this at this point. I mean, looking at Boeser, yes, he's making just over 6.5, which is 6.65 million. Yes, he is a guy that's going to demand more money, and rightfully so, coming off a 40-goal season. Someone that has shown that he can score 25-plus goals in a season. But Brock has been severely struggling. I think it was 0 points in the last 5 games with the Canucks. 5 points over the last 17, and with him looking for a contract. With Patrik Allvin going out and just kind of speaking on the fact that, listen, we didn't get the offers we wanted for Brock in free agency, making it seem like they were dangling his name around, or teams were at least actively calling on him. This cannot sit well with Brock. With Seravalli just going in, I kind of want to go back to it. The fact that he said if he was in this situation, listen, I don't always agree with Frank Seravalli, and I'm sure a lot of you guys don't either. No one agrees with everyone in this world, but Frank has a point. If Brock feels disrespected by this management group that did try to trade him, said they didn't get the value they wanted, and they don't want to hit what he wants, maybe we do see him leave. Yes, losing him is going to be terrible. Looking at the roster, we can see that he is top 4 in scoring, sitting at number 4. with 38 points. The guys above him are Quinn Hughes, who's the best defenseman in the NHL, and I will not stand on any other matter. Elias Pettersson, not DPD, is setting number 2. Connor Garland is there. Jake DeBrusk is a name to keep a watch on as well, as we've seen him step onto this Canucks team and take over the goal scoring lead with 23, which Brock was leading this team in last year. And I mean, looking at the lineup on its own, Brock's center position has been weaker than the previous seasons. Last year and a bit of this year, we've seen J.T. Miller playing with Brock Boeser. He's now stationed with Teddy Bluger and Kiefer Sherwood. I love both these guys, but maybe they're not the exact pieces this Canucks team need on a line with Boeser. A lot of people have talked about maybe just reuniting him with Elias Pettersson. But the biggest thing with PD and Brock is we've seen they haven't really worked in the past when on a line full time together. Pius Suter is playing with Joshua and Garland. I love this line. I would not break this lineup. I've been enjoying this quite a bit. I mean, anyone that's played with Joshua and Garland seems to work. But it does come down to, with Hedl out, who does Brock play with? Listen, they have him for the playoffs. They can't just avoid this fact and be like, hey, he's not working. Let's move on from him, because he's going to be on this team for the playoffs when the Canucks make it. Now, I'm saying when, not if. When the Canucks make the playoffs, so maybe you make a line change. Maybe you move this lineup a bit. Listen, the top line, I would not touch once again. Brock is playing with Bluger. Maybe you get Jonathan Lekkerimäki, which is a whole different topic. But playing Jonathan Lekkerimäki just 6 minutes is disrespectful, and I don't understand that stance either. Maybe getting a fast winger that can also shoot on that line will help Brock. But I mean, the biggest thing is, after the season, if the Canucks do, if Brock Boeser comes out and says, hey, I want to re-sign with this team, he signs with the team and ends up extending for quite some time, you need to figure out the center of the future to play with Brock, because I don't know if they have him right now. Yes, Hedl looked great, but he hasn't really worked with Brock in his games they have tried. So you can hit the open market and go out and sign a free agent unless you trade for someone. But looking at the list, who can the Canucks truly bring in? John Tavares headlining the top AAV contract, hitting the UFA. He's on the Toronto Maple Leafs, a former captain of the team. It's going to be hard to pry a guy like this from the roster as well. Working your name down, Nick Backstrom will never play hockey, it seems like, and it's very sad to say, in the National Hockey League anymore. Claude Giroux is stationed on Ottawa and does seem like he wants to sign an extension. Brock Nelson is getting quite old, and this does not help the Canucks get younger and faster. If you're working your way down through, there's a lot of names that could be a possibility. Sam Bennett's a name that's a very interesting, 22 goals, 23 assists, but we just got the reports that he's looking at signing an extension with Florida. The Canucks are in a very awkward situation trying to figure out what to do with Brock Boeser. Who is the center of the future to play with Brock Boeser? Is someone within the lineup or roster right now, maybe on Abbotsford Canucks, maybe not even on the team yet? There's so much to look in on this situation. Does Brock end up walking to the Canucks, just kind of dig in and give him the contract he wants? Listen, I don't want to sound like a Brock hater because I'm nowhere close to it. But the biggest thing is the Canucks need to figure this out. The playoffs are going to be a huge part of this if they make it, when they make it, I should say. And if Brock performs, yes, give him the bag. Give him whatever he wants to say. But if he continues to struggle without that line mate, why pay him like a first-line winger if he can't control a line on his own? And listen, I know he has the skill set of scoring goals, but he's not getting any faster. It's going to get quite interesting. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on the possibility of Brock walking? What's your thoughts on Frank Seravalli's comments on it? Who would you like to see the Canucks go out and get in free agency? Is it someone like Sam Bennett, or is it someone I haven't even talked about that's going to be a UFA going into this free agency? Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so you want to keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care.